Hello YouTube. This is a video on how to make what I call fragmentation pellets. Now, the end result of these pellets is basically massive deformation, basically in whatever you shoot it at, compared to, per se, the normal hollow point that it's based off. It has a pretty large expansion to it, along with fragmentation that comes occasionally from it, although most of them stay together. Now, so what you'll need to make these is some lead pellets. Generally, hollow point will work better. That's what I'm pretty sure of, at least. I mean, it makes it easier to saw it in the first place. You'll need a saw of sorts. The thinner the blade, generally, the better. And some pliers. Now, preferably something that could hold it securely, but not crush the pellet would work pretty well. Now, what you want to do is get the pellet in the pliers something like this, where it's kind of flat in there, laid in. And after you got that, what you want to do is you want to change the camera angle here. What you want to do is you want to take your saw blade and try to cut down the middle of the pellet, as so. Now, generally cutting all the way down to the skirt will work best. Also, be careful with the lead shavings. You don't want to accidentally breathe in heavily and breathe that in somehow. And you just keep doing this until you get down to about where the skirt is on the pellet, maybe lower. I mean, generally the deeper the cut, the more fragmentation, the more fragmentation and expansion generally. Yeah, so I can saw this a little bit more. And once you've done that, you want to do the other part. Basically, you want to saw it in a cross, sort of, something like that. And then you also want to get it as centered as possible. Yeah, that's another problem you might run into, is you might not have it secured enough, and it might fall out like that. So you want to find a balance between how secure you have it without damaging the pellet, because the skirt, you want to keep it as expanded as possible, although you can fix it, and I'll show you how at the end of the video. Okay, that should be good. Now you'll notice on this one that there's I'll fix this, give me a second. There we go. So when you're done, it should look something like this. Let's let the camera focus in. The camera isn't focusing in. Should look something like this. Yeah, there we go. Now, as you can see on mine, the skirt is a bit messed up, but all you need to do is take a pair of smaller pliers and kind of put the skirt back into shape. On my gun, the skirt being messed up isn't too much of a problem because of how the gun's set up. But some other guns, it might become a problem with theirs. So now we just need to go and test it. Okay, here we are. We're gonna test the pellet out of my Crossman 766. With 10 pumps, this thing gets about roughly 600 FPS, I think, a little bit more from what I read online. And I'll be shooting it at close range. Now we'll go see the results. Anyway, there's the pellet right there. It went about slightly more than a half an inch in. And let's see what the fragmentation on the pellet looks like. Okay, so I do not think this one had any fragmentation. This is the actual main pellet. Has a lot of expansion, but doesn't look like any of it broke off. I think if I actually sawed these a bit deeper, I might be able to get some actual fragmentation, because I still have a bunch of base material to work with in here. So that'll be in the end of the video. It'll show the what I hope will actually cause some fragmentation. Okay, this one I have cut extremely deep, so much so that if you push on the top part, it'll bend inwards. But if you decide to cut it extra short or extra deep, be careful, because I mean, you'll have to deal with the whole thing that I just mentioned. There's going to be a lot of bending in the lead, to put it. Okay. Now let's go see the results. Anyway, I've just gotten it open. The penetration's looks like it's short of half an inch, so let's get the bullet remains out and then do an overview. Okay, so it looks to me like it didn't really change much. I mean, it does have a little bit more overall deformation and expansion on it, but I mean, it looks like every single one that I've shot only has like one bullet fragment come off from it. So I mean, looks like it doesn't really matter what depth you make the cut. They'll all deform. I mean, there is a size difference between them. I mean, that versus that. I mean, it's really your choice at that point. Anyway, I hope you guys liked the video, and I have some more coming up. So, that's it.